Today, we're heading to High Street in Sutton to meet with Les and Michele, the owners of Messhall Eatery, to learn about what it takes to run a restaurant and catering business. I'm Caird Urquhart, and this is Georginapreneur.
Hi, I'm Michele, or Tootsie.
And you can call me Les or Eddybee.
And we're Eddybee and Tootsie of Messhall's restaurant.
You can find us at 106 High Street in downtown Sutton, right beside the Bank of Montreal, and it's the old LCBO. A lot of people know it that way.
We started basically with catering, and we brought our catering and amped up home cooking style to the restaurant, and we love to feed people, so that's why we're basically here.
Well, we live in Pefferlaw, so not too far from here, about 10 minutes away, and we didn't want to have a big commute, so we just went out looking anywhere in Georgina, really, and this place was available for us, and I think it more chose us than we chose it, but with the new developments going on in the area, we figured that Main Street in Sutton might be a good spot to start off.
When we came in, there was an Italian restaurant here. It was basically closed down due to the pandemic. And they had invested, after they purchased the property from LCBO, bringing over a pizza oven from Italy. But it had this very Italian flair. And we basically, wherever there was the maroon coloring, we introduced this earthy blue and emptied out our home and decorated it basically with our vibe. You know, the patio lights, all the nostalgia with the little cars and things that even have to do with the camp where we met.
It had all the dishes, it had all the forks, the tables, everything. We just love to cook. We like comfort food that kind of hugs you back a little bit. So we try to kind of take familiar dishes and just kind of elevate them a little bit in our space here.
Every space has its challenge, and when we came in, first of all, we got such a beautiful welcoming from the community where they were knocking on our door and saying, we know you're not open yet, but we just want to tell you how grateful we are that you're bringing a new business to the community. So we were already welcomed to the community, but things about getting our menu and new business out there, it just took a little bit of time to learn what the community wanted, what our target market was, and what we actually wanted to present ourselves up to the community.
Making it our own space, not just a generic space, because we spend more time here than we do at home, so this is basically our home. So we wanted it to have kind of that comfortable vibe, shows off more of our personalities. The biggest challenges was trying to get everything done in a quick amount of time.
We got our liquor license the night before we opened.
Yeah.
So it was down to the crunch.
And we only took the space 5 weeks before we opened, and we wanted to open in December for Christmas, and getting a sign up and getting the liquor license transferred. And so there were challenges there, and also I was still working full-time somewhere else during this time, so I'd be at work every day and coming in here at night and until the day before I worked.
And also learning the restaurant business, because
we didn't do that.
we were never in the restaurant business. I guess crazy people open up a restaurant for the first time during a pandemic, and that's us, yeah.
Actually, one of our hugest challenges at the beginning was we had 2 cooks that were on board, and a week before, neither of them were coming. So we actually found, we called her our little angel. She doesn't work for us anymore. She lives in Innisfil, so she's a little bit of a hike away. But having her knowledge in here at the beginning, she was working 80, 90 hours a week to get us on board. Well, in certain ways, you have to work with the town when you're starting a new business. We had to obviously deal with the fire department. They came and did several inspections. Everyone was great to deal with. You need approval for signage, you need approval for the patio. So all these things was new to us, so the town was very helpful.
Yeah, they guided us and they said, okay, you still need to do this. And you know, so we did have a little bit of hand-holding from the town, which is nice.
Yeah, and it's neat that you can walk around and you know people from the town by first name. So that doesn't happen unless you're kind of in a smaller area like this.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show, and I'm really excited today because our guests are Les and Michele from the Messhall Eatery in Sutton. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Caird.
Hello there. Good to see
Thanks
you.
for having
Good to
us.
see you. I'm excited for you to tell everybody who's watching about how you met and your story, because it's a really sweet story.
It is a really sweet story. We met at camp when we were around 6 years old. We don't remember that far back, but probably in our early teens, we remember crushing on each other and enjoying our summers there at camp.
But we were never a couple.
But we
were
never got together. Many moons later, probably around 25, 30 years later, there was the camp reunion. They were having their 100th year celebration, and we were both there, and basically it was just, how you doing? Yeah.
Well, I actually wasn't going to go, and then she kind of nudged me on Facebook, and I hadn't seen her since camp, so 25 years earlier. And so I went, and look what happened.
That was a worthwhile nudge, I gotta say. That was a worthwhile nudge.
All that crush was always there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I always thought that our getting together, the timing was perfect because the timing was right. If we had got together when we were teens, we probably wouldn't be together. I would have screwed it up long ago.
Life works that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So here you are, fast forward, and you're in the restaurant/catering business. What brought you from, hi, let's start dating, to here we are?
Gosh, that's a story.
I know there's a big story
yeah,
there,
there
but
is a
from
big
a business
story.
perspective, like how did you get to that place?
Well, it was basically, it was an incident where it was just an eye-opener for us. Les had gotten sick during COVID, and he was in a coma. And when he came out from coma, it was basically we were reassessing what we wanted to do with our lives, weighing in and out of what we really loved to do. And we loved cooking for people. We loved entertaining. And this is where our catering came into play, just cooking for people. And
I'm going to stop you for just a sec.
Okay.
Because I love this story, but I got to cut to commercial break. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with my guests, Les and Michele from the Messhall. And you guys were just telling me about your coma moment in life, which is horrendous.
My
and then,
coma moment.
yeah, it's awful. But I mean, it turned into something great, obviously, because you started recreating food. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so during the COVID times, in February 2021, I had COVID, did not go well, and went to the hospital, was there in a coma for a little bit, and when I woke up, which was awesome, we both decided that we needed to make some changes in our life, do something we're more passionate about, something that inspires us, something that would make us want to be excited every day. And for some reason, we chose cooking. We always liked to cook. And we were both in other professions for over 20 years. And so it was time to make a change. And that's one of the beautiful things about Michele is let's try it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So that's where we get started in doing this.
And so in terms of like opening a restaurant, there are obviously happy moments and there's difficult moments. Can you explain to me a little bit, like what are your favorite things about having a restaurant? And then we'll talk about a little bit about what are the hardest parts about having a restaurant. But maybe start with the good stuff.
The best or the creepiest, because sometimes my staff will just watch me standing behind the bar because I like to watch people enjoying our food. So it's
That's
getting
not creepy. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I guess getting the initial reaction and watching how they enjoy our food. And most cases, they enjoy our food. So I love watching the interaction of that.
Yeah. We've been I've been living up here. Michelle moved up about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been here for about 12 years or so and knew nobody. But now, everywhere we go, hey, Eddybee, Tootsie, Les, Michele. And so that is probably getting to know the community and getting to know the people around. Probably is the highlight for me, being able to create dishes. But it's also the toughest part is always being on. And so what we love the most is also our biggest obstacle from time to time. It's okay, what are we cooking this weekend? What are we doing? And oh, staff's not coming in. So there's trials and things every day.
For sure. I mean, it's no secret that the restaurant business is one of the hardest businesses to get into. So I know. Well, but you have to have that perspective, right? If you're going to open one, because you just go, right?
Yeah.
And but I'm sure, like for other people out there who want to start a restaurant, there are specific things that you had to do, hurdles that you had to get over to get to this point, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was an existing restaurant here. So the beauty of it, I think that's what not inspired us, that made us choose this location as quick as we did. Not that we were planning on opening a restaurant. We were just looking for a brick and mortar to take the catering business out from our home. And then this opportunity, opportunity.
We have people to clean that up later.
That's right.
Yeah.
This opportunity presented itself and we said, why not? Let's just go for it. And the beauty of it is that everything was here. So just taking over the liquor license, but not having to buy any equipment. But we did have to educate ourselves on the restaurant industry. Mm-hmm. Things like, fryer oil and things like that. As minor as it may seem to some people, it was like things that we really had to make sure that we were doing it right because we wanted to do it right.
For sure. I mean, I can't even imagine opening a restaurant. The layers of detail that go into it, the planning, the menus, everything, right?
I think had we have known how much was involved, we may have given it a second thought.
Naivety is bliss.
Yes.
But I'd have to say 2 months before we actually opened to the public, we didn't even have thoughts on a restaurant. We were just looking for a commercial kitchen to get our house back to ourselves. So we just jumped into the deep end and a lot
Call
of great.
us crazy.
And we opened up in December of 2021. Then we got shut down because of COVID regulations in January. And people said, oh, was that hard? And I said, you know what? I think it allowed us that chance to reset, like a forced reset after, okay, this is the first 3 weeks we've ever had a place. So it was a good thing.
Right. I mean, what did that that opportunity allow you, that time?
Yeah,
what
it allowed us
kind
to
of
kind of, okay, where did we fall short? Where did we succeed? And just kind of, is our staffing right? Is this right? Like just kind of getting a lay of the land. And I tell you, I miss those days a little bit sometimes.
And
Be shut down for a month would be awesome right now.
Don't tell your clients that.
Right, but we were still pumping out takeout like crazy. It was just people still loved our food.
Right. Are you still doing takeout? Is that one of the offerings? Yeah. You're still doing the takeout and catering as well, right?
Yeah.
Lots of catering. Yeah. We love the catering. Yeah. We love going off-site. We love just being in diverse places, just other than the restaurant.
Right. And so I'm guessing because of the catering component, you're talking about how much you love to meet people and stuff. That's huge as well, right? You can get out and be in people's backyards and help them celebrate whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah, we even did a couple of events where they were having dinner parties and they didn't want to cook, they didn't want to clean, so they, picked up the phone, said, hey, can you come over and cook for our crew? Mm-hmm. And
that's kind of how we even got started. Was neighbors knew we cooked and said, I got my grandchildren coming up. I got 20 people. What can you make for us? That's how it got going. And so every week we put out to our minimal clients we're doing barbecue chicken this week, we're doing ribs, we're doing a pasta dish or chicken parm, and be okay, sign me up for this, sign me up for that. So it was a great start to do it, except our kitchen at home was just a zoo.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
Well, that's my kind of dinner party. You guys come and cook it and clean and everything, and I just get to have my favorite cocktail and
Exactly.
enjoy your
even
friends,
cooking
right?
parties, interactive, where I've done a birthday party where they have a menu and we're making everything all together.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're able to consume what they make. So,
Happy time, right?
Yeah.
That's a good time to cut the commercial. On a happy time. We'll be right back. Do you guys have mentors in your lives that have led you here?
I would have to say my mentor is my mom. Not teaching me how to cook, teaching me for the love of food.
Welcome back again, everyone. I'm here with Les and Michele from the Messhall Eatery, and we're having a great conversation about their life and their world. One question I like to ask everybody is about financing and how you manage it, because every entrepreneur has a different way of financing their business. Can you just give us the short story about like what happened here?
Sure. Well, we were in a fortunate situation, whereas Michele and I both own our own places, and she sold her home and moved in. So we had a little cushion that is always a good thing. With this being fully set up, other than making it our own, they just required a security deposit. So we were very fortunate. The town does offer some grants for different things, whether it be signage or patio and all that. And so I would suggest to anyone, find that out beforehand and take advantage of those things. Unfortunately, we were not able to take advantage of it because we were quick to open and quick to get everything going. So we didn't allow the right amount of time. But there are programs available by the town, and they're always so helpful. So
Super.
As well.
That's a good segue into my next thought, which is really about mentorship. And I know most people have mentors in their lives, and it may be a mentor for your specific business, or it may be people in your life that have just allowed you some more information or more tutoring around to get to this point. Do you guys have mentors in your lives that have led you here?
I would have to say my mentor is my mom. Not teaching me how to cook, teaching me for the love of food, and just how to be a good person, how to lead with kindness. My mom is the utmost angelic person. She is a role model. She's
a sweetie.
Somebody who I aspire to be. Just a good, kind, good cook.
That's a good shout out. That's a good shout out to mom.
Yeah.
Do you have a mentor?
Well, you know what? Both my parents, my dad loved to cook. And I remember as a kid, him, like I'm saying, you know what, dinner was great tonight. Dad must have cooked. And I remember he would hold that over my mom all the time. But my mom has probably been my biggest supporter, whereas I'm the go and do this, try this, whereas she's more the conservative one. And she still helps us out with our bookkeeping and all that. So she's very active in my life, kind of keeps me a little bit grounded, which drives me crazy from time to time. But in the most part, it's that good balance.
Right.
But what I love, she's also a mentor of mine too.
That's nice.
And just because I cook for, I guess, for flavor and taste, whereas Michele always says you eat first with your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
It's taking something, and even look at the way she put this lovely thing together here. That it really is a good balance. And how I know she's my person is she's a doer. We're not gonna think 20 years from now we should have.
Right.
Because we're gonna
Get out there and do it.
We're gonna do it.
That's amazing.
So that's probably it. Like if you're thinking it, do it.
Yeah. you know, I love the look with your eyes part, because I remember when I started losing my vision, like, you know, short, and I love food too. So, but I remember that first time I lifted a fork towards my face, and I'm like, I can't see the food anymore. And it was so disappointing because I love food too. So when you said that, I went, oh yeah, that it is a critical component to eating, is seeing.
Well,
right?
this is as the food comes out, right? You know, watching the people's face as the plate is actually put down in front of them is like, oh.
A guy I went to public school with, actually, and because of social media, you're in touch with these people, even though you don't see them and all that. So he actually came up here one day. He's a chef in Unionville. And he told us, when you're carrying a plate out to a table, don't carry it up here, carry it down low. And I tell you, all the time, the heads go like this, is what they're having.
100%.
What is that?
Yeah.
What are
What
they
is
eating?
that?
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's certain things you pick up that stick with you.
Yes.
And that's one of them.
For sure, if you're in a new restaurant, you're always eyeballing the food when it goes by, right? 'Cause you have no idea what to order.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me switch it back to you guys now and turn it around about how you can mentor, or the advice you would have to young upcoming entrepreneurs and restaurant owners.
Okay, well, that's a little difficult, but if I was to say anything, it would be, number one, find something that you love to do. Find something you're passionate about, because you're going to be doing a lot of it. And even though there's days that are hard and days that are not so good, I still love coming in every day. And that's probably extremely important. Do research, find good people to support you. Continue to work on the business. And probably the biggest thing is trust your gut. Don't trust what other people tell you. Trust what's in here. And I think we were talking about Ted Lasso there, and he has a saying that listen to your heart, and on the way down to your gut, somewhere in between is what's going to be right. So that's probably
great.
I use Ted Lasso.
It's a good quote from Lasso. It's a good quote. It works.
Somewhere in between is what's what.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so going forward with your fabulous business, what do you see the future? What do you want people to know about where is this going?
We would probably like to go back to where this whole thing started and do a lot more catering, do off-site things. We love doing the Georgina Farmers Market, which is starting next month, and we do it for 6 months, every Sunday from 9 until 2. We're going to be having our mobile barbecue at the end of the street here, just in front of the restaurant during lunch hours, almost like street meat kind of thing.
Yeah. We have live music planned on the patio during the summer. We also, this particular weekend coming up, we have 2 private events here. So the space is available. You got a party of up to 50, 60 people. You know what? Come use our space, and we'll make it a wonderful night for you guys.
Perfect. And you had mentioned to me before we start chatting on air about feature nights and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about that you're going to have different foods?
We're going to do theme nights. We're going to have, we are changing up our menu again. Probably beginning of May, it'll be coming out. But it's always creating a little bit of a different vibe here. So it's like, hey, what's happening at the mess hall this week kind of thing.
That's
fantastic. What we
fantastic.
want to do. Yeah.
That's great. You know what? It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Lots of fabulous energy here. It's over. It's over. What can I say? It goes by quickly, but thank you so much for being our guests, and we wish you all the best going forward, and I will eat here.
Okay,
Sounds
perfect.
good.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.